Hello there and welcome back to some more Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Today we'll continue on Let's Play. This is episode 37. In today's episode we are taking a look at the taxi driver side mission. This can be activated in any taxi cab. For this run we are going to be using the Zebra cab, which we got from completing the Kaufman cab's missions, because it offers improved durability and speed and handling over the standard Cabbie, as well as one other little trick which we'll get into in a second. So taxi driver is a returning activity from GTA 3. Of course we did do it in GTA 3, and much like in GTA 3 you need to complete 100 fares in order to pass it. Now you don't have to do all 100 fares in a row, thank God, because it takes a long time. But if you choose to, then you will get a monetary reward every 5 fares you do in a row. Well, as long as you get to the number 100, it doesn't really matter which way you do it. Again, Zebra Cab, one other advantage of this vehicle is that usually you get a tip bar. The tip bar depends on how much money you make from a trip. So if you are quicker, you will get more of a tip. If you damage the taxi less, you'll get more of a tip. However, in the Zebra Cab, that's not something you have to worry about. You automatically just get the highest amount of money possible. So that's another good reason to use the Zebra Cab. So at least you can get a decent amount of monetary reward from this, because it doesn't reward a whole lot of money. It is, again, just a pretty... It's a side activity you can do from the start of the game, so obviously it doesn't want to reward too much money, as you can see there. Essentially the goal of this is you go around, pick up a passenger, they'll tell you where to go, you go there, you get paid, and then you go and pick up another taxi fare. That's how taxis work in real life. So on Vice City, it is especially difficult because unlike in Liberty City, where, for example, Portland, where we did it, Portland is a small island, and you could just sort of drive around it pretty efficiently. There's a good number of road networks, you can get anywhere you need to go. Vice City is not quite as well laid out as Liberty City. Essentially, your choices boil down to whether you want to do this on the West Island or East Island. I decided to go for the East Island because there is more variety in the roads, there's more shortcuts you can take. But if you do this on the West Island, essentially the way you're doing this is you're going to be driving down that main road over and over again. That's just the way you get to places. It is literally driving from one side of the island you're on to the other side over and over again. That is pretty much what taxi boils down to, and you have to do that 100 times. So yeah, it's not fun. It took me, in this run, we live streamed it yesterday, it took 2 hours and 10 minutes in order to do this. Now, I wasn't taxiing the entire time there, so the time is probably more close to 2 hours in total, but yeah, that is how long it took. So it's actually double as long as it was in GTA 3. In GTA 3 it took an hour and 10 minutes, I believe, to do all 100 fares on Portland, so it does take a long old while. But yeah, and that's even with the Zebra Cab, which is the upgraded taxi for this mission. You know, that's not using a standard cab. I'm not sure how long it would take in those. As usual, with this, just keep an eye on your taxi's health, keep an eye on your wanted level. Obviously, if you get pulled out of the taxi, that ends the side mission. If you destroy your taxi, that'll end the side mission as well, and will kill you inside it if you don't hop out. So yeah, keep an eye on your taxi's health. You can visit Painsbury's even when there's a customer in the car, so it might be wise to drop off and do that every now and again. But to be honest with you, if you are driving relatively well and you are in the Zebra Cab, it's highly unlikely you'll really need to use a Painsbury more than a handful of times. It should be pretty straightforward. I think at one point in this I run over a cop by accident and get like a 2-star wanted level, but that was really the only trouble we got into here. Other than that, the cab was fine. Passengers will refuse to get in if your taxi is too damaged, but I never got to that point in this game. It's not like GTA 3 where the vehicle durability is particularly bad in GTA 3. In this game it's not as bad. Yeah, like I said, it's pretty... Other than the fact that you need a taxi to start it, you have 100 fares to complete, you don't have to do them in a row. You get a monetary reward for this. Every 5 fares you do, you get a little in a row bonus, which isn't all that much money, but it's something worth bearing in mind. And yeah, you're completing 100 of these, you're driving from one side of the map to the other over and over and over again, and that's Taxi Driver in a nutshell. So soon enough we are going to end up speeding this up. I should have really put the speed up on this a long time before this, but I figured this talk would take longer than it did, but there really isn't all that much to discuss when it comes to Taxi Driver. So a fun fact about this, because it was 2 hours, usually I 4 times speed when I do the speed up transitions and just drag the little slider in Vegas 4 times speed, and that's as good as it needs to be. However, in the case of this, I had to render it in 4 times speed and then put it in 4 times speed again. So what you're seeing here is 16 times speed taxi fares, so yeah. Even at 16 times speed, it looks like it takes as long as it does. Fares take forever in this game, they really, really do. And just imagine how it was for me doing this live. I mean, we did it on live stream, people were in live chat, which was cool. We had the Discord call going as well. So, yeah, that made it slightly less tedious. Thankfully, excuse me, usually I'd cut stuff like that out, but I'm just going to leave it in the purpose of this video. I haven't drunk both my coffees today, so I'm a little, you might hear, I'm slightly tired. I've only been awake for about an hour or so. Anyways, yeah, we live streamed this and we just bullshitted in Discord, which was fun. I do live stream the side missions to these games occasionally, so if you want to come out and join those. I don't really announce those streams though, so if you're around at the time, then I guess you get to see them, but yeah, there wasn't all that much to really report today. There's only 3 side missions we actually have to go through at this portion of the game. Taxi Driver, Chopper Checkpoint, and Shooting Range are all of them, so that's what you're going to see. And then we're not too far away from completing the game in general, so that's nice. Yeah, like I said though, Taxi Driver, there's just not that much to Taxi Driver. That's one tangent I was going to go on. Thankfully, in the following GTA games, they did actually address the issue with Taxi Driver. It went from 100 fares to 50 in San Andreas, which is nice. Also, San Andreas tried to vary it up a little bit. They added a few scenarios to it, same in Vice City Stories, which some people consider harder, but I think in Vice City Stories, it's either 50 fares or you can only earn... If you earn $5,000 from driving a taxi, then you get the reward, so it's not actually that difficult. One thing you might notice in terms of Vice City is I did actually decide to complete all of the fares in a row on this one, so that's something interesting. I decided to just get as many as I can done in one go. I tried in GTA 3 to do all 100 in a row, but it didn't really work, but in this game it did, so I did actually manage to do all 100 in a row. I would have challenged myself to see how many I could do in a row, however, I've already spent 2 hours driving this taxi, and I wasn't going to spend another 2 hours driving a taxi, because that seemed like a bit of a waste of time, really. Yeah, I mean, it's not like Vigilante, where this is like low-key fun. It's just low-key really boring. Another reason to use the East Island is the beach. You can drive up and down that. It takes a while for the taxi to get going on the beach, but once it does, it's actually a pretty efficient way around the city. It's also a fun way to learn the East Island a little bit more. You can sort of see all the shortcut stuff. Again, in West Island, you're literally just going down one road and then taking another road to a place. It's pretty... There's no real wiggle room in terms of the time, whereas in this you can sort of get the time going a little bit. You can get a decent amount of time going. As you can see, the time carries on from fare to fare as well, so it gets easier and easier as it goes on as well, in terms of your time limit, which is nice. Just don't roll the damn car over, and you'll probably be alright. As you can see, there you go, Zebra Cab went in the paint spray, and I immediately ran over a police officer, so I had to go in the paint spray again and get that sorted. So that was nice. If you don't have access to the Zebra Cab, I guess the best one would probably be the LTD taxi, the sort of normal, more modern taxi that does offer front wheel drive handling. I actually prefer the handling of that over the Zebra Cab, but the Zebra Cab's more durable. The Cabbie is also more durable, so more durable than that vehicle. So if you're expecting to get into more accidents, then the Cabbie's probably better if you're a bit of a better driver and would value the speed more than the front wheel drive cab. But again, I mean, the Zebra cab's the best cab to go with, really, because it does offer the best durability, and you may as well do something with it. Considering you went through all the Kaufman cabs missions, you may as well, you know, use the vehicle, I guess. It's a pretty cool vehicle. Someone pointed out in the chat that it's more of a Tiger cab, and I kind of agree. It is more of a Tiger design. I don't know why they went with Zebra cab. I don't know why they didn't bring the Borghini back from GTA 3. I kind of like the Borghini. Never got to show that off in that game though, because that's what you got for beating 100 taxi fares. Speaking of the reward, I will save that for in a couple of minutes. Once we've actually completed all the taxi missions, I'll show off what you get. It's an interesting reward to say the least. It's pretty useless, but it's something, I guess. Something different. Also, I made over $1 million while doing this. Not made over $1 million as in, like, actually made over $1 million, I mean, in terms of, like, our actual overall cash. We went over $1 million, so that's cool. Of course, I did the Cone Crazy exploit to get the businesses, but other than that, yeah, no, it's not too hard to earn cash in this game. This might work out if you want to do this sort of early in the game as well. I'm only doing it later because I wanted to show off the Zebra cab, but if you want to do it earlier on, it's a decent source of money. Not quite as much as it was in GTA 3, where I think we ended up making like $2 million or something ridiculous in like the first few episodes of that game. So that was pretty cool, but yeah, no, it's not too bad. Is this coffee safe to drink yet? Yeah, I'll leave it till the end of the video. I do like my coffee. Southpaw Regional Wrestling mug as well. I've had this mug for ages. It's managed to stay strong, which is good. I like this mug. Big mug. I had another wrestling mug, but that fell apart, which is a bit sad, so is what it is. Anyways, we are coming to the end of the speeded up footage. I'll show this last fair in all of its glory, so you can see how agonizing this was in general. Again, do bear in mind that, unless I'm being stupid, that bit there was at 16 times speed, and we're still 12 minutes, so yeah, that does take a while. Anyways, all taxis now have a jump boost. Just press the horn button, and then, yeah, the taxi will launch into the air. That's your reward for doing 100 fares. It's an interesting reward, to say the least, and that applies to every taxi, not just the Zebra cab. I'll show it off a bit more in a minute once we run away from the explosion, because I tried to find another taxi so I could show this. Yeah, just click the horn button and the taxi will launch into the air. Again, it's an interesting reward, certainly. More of a fun one. It doesn't really serve any practical purpose. I think I tried to jump this taxi onto the roof of that bunch of tools building, but it didn't really work out. So, but yeah, no, that's your reward. Anyways, that's Taxi Driver. Pretty boring side mission. In all honesty, this was probably worse than Paramedic in this game for me personally. I did not have much fun with Taxi Driver, but either way, that's done. Thank you all very much for watching. Next time I'm going to be taking a look at Chopper Checkpoint, so join us for that, and until then, farewell.
You know the sorrow that my heart holds in, knowing just where my hopes and dreams are going. I'll only you up in a wall that you are not part of. Eyes on the slit of your father with love.